It was my second tour. I went over there first on the ground with the 101st, and then I came back and went to flight school. And after flight school, I was assigned to the 525th Military Intelligence Unit, which was a helicopter unit. It was PSYOPS unit at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and we formed up a brand new unit. And then that unit went to Vietnam. I went to Vietnam with that unit. We did a lot of ash and trash, if you know what ash and trash is. Basically, we were flying supplies and people, and wasn't a lot of combat. But then we did have some combat units. We supported some combat units. Flew a lot down in the Delta, and then the second week I was there, we flew a lot of night combat assault, which was quite successful. The good thing about it was they were shooting at us, but they couldn't see us in the dark. So we were flying 9th Infantry Division at that time down in the Delta. And it was a very successful several days there that we flew these night combat assaults. Didn't lose a helicopter that I know of, that I remember. And then I started flying with the Greyhounds. And the Greyhounds, one of the big advantages is they were flying the H model, which had a lot of power. The H models had the larger engine and the 540 rotor system, and we were able to lift anything we could put in it. So it was really nice to have that extra power. The last couple of days there, we flew up to Cu Chi, and we were supporting the 51st LRP, LRRP, the Long Range Reconnaissance Patrol, and they were working in the area of the Cambodian border near the Parrot's Beak. That's what that was. And I was flying out of Cu Chi, and we were supporting the 51st LRP, which happened to be the 101st Airborne, which had been my old unit in my first tour. And on the last day I was flying, we dropped off a team, and we were taking fire as we landed, which was not good because they were supposed to be going in secretly, and it was obviously no longer a secret. At any rate, we dropped them off against, we thought that maybe they would abort the mission, but the unit commander, that was Colonel Zuma, Lieutenant Colonel Zuma, he told them to go ahead and get off, even though they were already taking fire. Well, we went back to refuel and pick up another team. While we were refueling, we heard the call on the radio. They needed to be extracted. And so first ship went in, and they were unable to make the extraction because of the enemy fire. Second ship went in, and that was Alvis Faverty. He was the pilot, and he got killed. And anyway, they were able to extract the team. The Colonel Zuma was flying around in a LOH, OH-6 helicopter, and he saw a body laying on the ground, and he thought that body was an American body. And so he ordered another ship to go in and pick up that body. And another ship went in, and they got shot up, but nobody was killed on that flight. Several people got hit, but I don't right now remember all the names. I have it at home. But anyway, so a third ship went in, and in this one, Eisenhower, James Eisenhower, he was killed in the flight. He had been on an ash and trash, like I was talking about earlier, and he heard the operation on the radio, and he volunteered to go in and pick up this, what we thought was an American body. And he was killed, and they were shot up pretty badly because that helicopter, they had to land a few miles away. They were not flyable. The crew chief was able to radio to Colonel Zuma that this was not an American body. That was that was an NVA. And Colonel Zuma did not believe that, and so he ordered my ship to go in, and I was flying with Al Greenwald. He was the aircraft commander, and I was the pilot. And on that day, I happened to be flying left seat. Well, the left seat was the side that was getting all the action that day, all the gunfire. And we went in to extract the body. And one of the problems had been that because of the gunships had all exhausted all their ammunition, and so we went in with no gunships. And at any rate, we went in, and I got shot, and I don't remember anything more for the next 3 days. My aircraft commander, I heard this after the fact, Mr. Greenwald, he finally convinced Colonel Zuma that this was not an American, it was a Viet Cong or NVA. And at any rate, I woke up 3 days later in the hospital and spent the next 10 months in the hospital. Then they sent me back to duty, and I flew for another 11 years.